So the importance of leadership in the success of an organisation, clearly it's important. I think there's a change in kind of the view of leadership. So the old-fashioned view of leadership was very much around the leader hero. So if you like, a superstar CEO or a superstar MD who basically set the direction of the organisation, and it was down to them, it was down to that leadership whether or not an organisation would succeed or fail. And I think that those days have gone, and certainly with new generations coming through and a more interconnected world, a more global world with technology, leadership has to come from the bottom, the middle and the top. So it's interconnected, people are reliant on each other, leadership has to be driven internally from people themselves. So we start with leadership of self, so fundamentally leadership comes from you as an individual. And then we look at leadership within your team, leadership within the function, leadership within the organisation, and then fundamentally, if you like, leadership at the peak, which is the CEO. So leadership can come from all different levels within the organisation, and what you really want is leadership to be driven from the middle of the organisation. And what we mean by that is people taking accountability for the delivery of results. So the kind of leadership that's needed for a turnaround of an organisation, I think, goes very much back to what I was just saying. So it's around people taking accountability in their own roles. So you can't rely on other people. It's got to be something that's delivered collectively. So we talk about collective leadership. So it's not about a person coming up with a solution, because very often in the world we live in at the moment, as we know, we call it the VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. The answer often isn't in one person. The answer is a collective across the organisation, across functions, across specialisms. And so what we look for is a collective solution. And that's the kind of leadership that's really needed for a turnaround. It's got to be something that involves all the employees, or as many of those as you can engage as possible. It's about employee engagement. It's about direction. It's about alignment of the employees. And it's about the commitment to make it happen. And that comes down to individual accountability.